We get that question a lot, actually. Well, I've heard it a lot. How do you balance marriage with ministry? How do you balance marriage and your job? How do you balance? Here's how I want to rephrase that. Your marriage is kind of the center.
It is a center.
And if you're looking at balance, it's not like two sides of a scale, marriage and other stuff. Put marriage in the middle, and then everything else is spokes on the wheel.
Yeah.
Because that marriage falls apart, the rest of that whole thing falls apart. The rest of the pieces of the wheel just are going to collapse.
So simply put, marriage is the priority before anything else. And if there's time for anything else, then we attend to that. But it's never the highest percentage of focus. Anything that we do. When we decided to do Jalen and Cacie, 2 years ago, maybe?
Yes.
It really started out as just us telling our how we met story, things like that. We originally started doing, not originally, but we started doing daily vlogs. And then we realized that daily vlogging was taking up a lot more time than we wanted to commit to doing YouTube that way anyway. And so we cut that out, and then we just started focusing more on our Jalen and Cacie stories and talking about relationships. And it was a really a day-by-day thing. And our thing is, if we don't have anything to say, we're not going to say it. You know, we don't sit here and just talk just to be talking. We're not focused on views and follows and stuff like that, because if you really start focusing on that, that's when it becomes a rat race. And that's when you start feeling the pressure and the anxiety to try to be big because, oh, I want people to know about what we're doing. So how many videos need to do, or how fancy do I need to make it, you know, and then clickbait and just a whole lot of stuff you start bombarding you if it becomes about the views or the followers. For us, we're doing it because we believe that God told us to do this. And as long as God is speaking to us, we will continue to do so. But the moment he says, you're done, we're done. Because we really don't have to do it. Like, not for my own personal drive.
Yeah. And I mean, that was something that I, at different points, would struggle with. Like, it's easy to get caught up in it. So then you start watching the videos on, well, how do I grow my channel real fast? How do I get my first 1,000 subscribers? And it's like you try to start doing these techniques. You know, we were doing the daily vlogs, but then I was getting stressed out because I had to edit them every night. And so it's like I work in the day, vlogging all day. We come home at night, we get the clips together, and I'm editing them. And then it's time to go to sleep. So where's the time for our marriage?
Vlogging,
you know?
Vlogging takes a lot because you got to have content. And you kind of find yourself creating content that's not really content, you know. And we never want to fake anything. But to be honest with you, and I'm not accusing people of this, but some may do, but sometimes we can sensationalize a moment that's really not that big of a moment. But because it's, you know, we got this deadline to do daily vlogging and we want it to be interesting, we can kind of create scenarios that's not really organic. So we didn't want to get into that. And
I mean, we like vlogging, and there is a day in the future I think we would like to, maybe not daily, but do some more vlogging because
it was fun. We did enjoy it. We had some fun doing it, but
the moment you can sense that this is getting in the way of things that are important, here's a priority: God, marriage, children, and then church, and then everything else. Like that's how the thing goes. So you know, if someone's getting in the way of a relationship with God, you got to cut it out. Someone's getting in the marriage, you got to cut it out. So when I could sense that it was breaking me down or causing problems, okay, we just got to stop and do something different. And, you know, the Lord just kind of bumped us. We tried different things until we landed on the Jalen and Cacie stories. But Jalen and Cacie stories are one of the easiest things for us to do. It's sweatless. It's fairly easy, fairly quick for us to do. And it's also the most successful. We get the most response and views and subscribers out of doing the Jalen and Cacie story.
And
so the Lord knows. And so the Lord knows what we need. And is there more that we want to do? Sure. We have ideas all the time. We should do this show, that show. But we've gotten a lot smarter about not just jumping out because we got an idea. Even if we do feel like it's a God-inspired idea, there's a season for everything. So just because you have a great idea, if it takes too much work, it may not be time for it now. I'm sure there's a lot more this channel will turn into, but it'll probably happen when we start getting some help. Maybe some additional editors, people that can follow us around the camera, you know, help us out, you know. But until such time, and even being pregnant, you know, try to balance it with marriage, try balancing it with having a baby. You know, we had to slow down. I had to learn to, you know, give you some grace. If you say I'm not ready to record tonight, I'm like, okay, we're just not going to record. We'll just skip. We'll just do something different, you know, and just be okay with that, because the marriage comes
because
first.
Think about this. If God's grace is on your channel, if God's grace is involved in what you're doing, it's going to succeed.
Yep.
And you have to just put your trust all the way 100% in him and in the calling that you believe he's called you to do. So don't sweat it. Don't try to make it happen in your own energy. Be obedient. Do what he tells you to do. I mean, for him, because he handles the technical side of this a lot more than I do, so he will hear from God as to when to post something, what to post, what topic we should be talking about, and things like that. And, you know, I co-sign on it, you know, because we do it together. But we really try to hear God's voice about what to talk about and when. And if that means not recording or not posting for a few days, that's okay too, because the bottom line is we're more concerned about you and the viewers getting what you need, seeing it, because God knows who's watching. God knows who's tuning in. We don't know, and we let him control that. Like I said, we've been doing this for a little over 2 years now, and you know, we still have under 1,000 followers on YouTube, and that's okay, because if we only reach one, that's the one that we're supposed to be reaching in the first place. You know, so numbers don't matter. It's the results that matter.
And don't get caught up on speed. Like, I gotta, like, you can look up somebody. I got 1,000 subscribers in 2 months, in 2 weeks. He's like, oh, well, I'm called of God, then I should definitely be able to do that. One thing I've learned, and this is very recently I learned this, is that not only will God get you to where you need you to go, he's not going to let you get there too early.
Yeah.
Because it is not about, it's really simple. It's for your, A, your safety, and B, you being right where you need to be, we need to be there. You know, sometimes I'll release a post or we'll release a video, and I'll be thinking, and I'll be struggling with, like, I don't know if this is really that great a post, but I'll write it the way the Holy Ghost tells me to write it, and I'll post it the time it tells me to post it. And then we'll get a comment, or we'll get a question, we'll get a response to someone that's like, oh, that was just on time. You don't even know how on time that was. And when I look at that, I realize, God, when I let you be in control of me, when I actually follow your will and I let you dictate my actions, you're going to make sure that everything hits the time frame just perfectly, just right, to get the result of affecting the person's heart. Yeah. That's what it is for us. It's about salvation, saving marriages. You know, this is how this works.
And we can't help save marriages if ours falling apart.
You know, exactly.
You know, and and just some practical things that you can put in place. And we started doing this sometime last year, where every 6 weeks we would take time off. Yep. Whether that be a day or a couple of days, we would just stop doing everything, spend time together, get refreshed, so that we can come back, you know, better and stronger. So it's a rule for us that every 6 weeks we pick a weekend or a day, whatever, you know, that we can, you know, spare to spend together.
Yep.
And that becomes priority. Now we have a little more breaks because of pregnancy and stuff like that. So, you know, it's probably more predicated on me, how I'm feeling. If I'm not feeling it, then we're just not going to do it. Because, you know, but we put practical things in place so we won't overwork ourselves.
So you can't plan. I mean, I'm sorry, you can't not plan. You have to plan it. Yeah. You have to plan your marriage. You have to plan out. You know, let's just talk about marriage specifically. You got to plan out sex. You got to plan out vacations. You got to plan out date nights. You got to plan out conversations, communications. We'll say, hey, tonight we are going to talk. Tonight we're going to watch this marriage video. You can't just play it by ear and just que sera, sera.
Because the other night we were going to record. Yeah. But I was like, no, let's just talk. And we talked for several hours up until midnight. It was and it was a good conversation. So you can't be so rigid. Yes. You know, you got to be fluid. You got to know how to flow with the Holy Spirit, because that's when you fall into traps and trouble, when, you know, you're just so rigid and you can't break the schedule. Break the schedule, because sometimes that's what you need. It'll help you to save your marriage. Get some sleep.
Follow the signals.
You know, you really do. It's like sometimes we don't pay attention to our bodies, and, you know, you coming down with something, but we keep pressing, and then all of a sudden you're down for 2 and 3 weeks. When if you had attended to yourself, the first moment you felt something, it would have been gone probably in 24 hours. So we try to pay attention to those signals and attend to them right away, and not let them go weeks and weeks. without being attended to, because that's really where the unbalance comes.
Yep.
And we never want to get to that point. Now, we're not flawless. You know, we miss the mark sometimes, but we really try to deliberately put things in place that would help us keep that balance.
We missed the mark a lot less now,
yeah,
because we pay attention. And you know, I was on my end of things, I was more the workaholic type, and I was like, we got to record now, we got to do this now, we got to do this, and and I've learned over the past past year, several months, I've become a lot better at that. And I just learned, and a lot of times follow her signals. If she's not feeling it, I don't push her. And sometimes I just relax and be like, okay, it's not the end of the world that we missed, you know,
and
this particular schedule.
I need to be pushed, you know, because I am a chill person when it comes to these kind of things. So, you know, being pushed is not a bad thing, but you just got to have that balance and have that communication.
Exactly. Communication is going to be key to
Communication is everything with keeping the balance. You got to know where your spouse is, your mindset, at all times, if you're going to keep that balance. Because one person may want to rest, one person may want to work, but if you don't know that, you're going to be clashing, and that's not what you want.
So to answer the first question, how do you balance things? Prioritize the marriage.
Yeah.
Put that marriage first before the work, and let it be that this marriage will succeed even this YouTube channel doesn't.
Yeah, because we would shut the whole thing down.
Because the YouTube channel must be an offshoot of your marriage. It must be in addition. It must be a ministry that's born out of your marriage, not the other way around. Because if the marriage ever starts serving the YouTube channel will destroy your marriage. But if your YouTube channel serves your marriage and then it serves the people, then that YouTube channel, it's got to be in a position where YouTube channel, you don't rule me, rule you. And if we ever want to pull the plug on you, we will. Put it in that position, and then the YouTube channel will never rule you in your marriage.
Exactly.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Did you know that we have channel memberships? Channel memberships are a great way for subscribers like you to support what we do with monthly payments that give you access to awesome perks. For example, if you sign up for Tier 1 Vision Bearer, you'll get a cool badge next to your name whenever you leave a comment beneath our videos. You also get access to custom emojis we made just for you, so people can know that you're one of our channel members. If you sign up for Tier 2 Vision Bearer Plus, you'll get a 20% discount on all of our merch, kind of like this hoodie that I'm wearing here and other things that you can find on our merch site, access to exclusive behind the scenes mini vlogs, and a members only chat with us right here on YouTube. The best part is, no matter which tier you choose, you'll get lifetime access to our premium content, like our 6-week course, Overcome the Spirit of Depression, or our long-form cinematic podcast, Death to Pornography. Only our channel members have unlimited access to these special productions. And to say thank you, we'll always give you shout outs by name in our live streams. Consider becoming a channel member today. Click the join button below for more information. Or if you're an iPhone user, click the link in our description. Thank you in advance, and we'll see you next time.